Things didn't start off the way Southern Columbia had anticipated, but when the Tigers got going, they were going at full force as they knocked off rival Mount Carmel handily, 49-16. The Tigers fell behind by a touchdown midway through the first quarter, but the victors were scored 21 straight points over the final 2 minutes and 49 seconds of the quarter to take a 21-7 lead. After Red Tornadoes quarterback Gavin Marshallek scored from a yard out, the Tigers came to life. Following a long run by Braden Andrews, 35 yards, and a 26-yard reception from Jace Molokowski, Talon Pyatt tied the game on a 1-yard TD. Following a Mount Carmel fumble, in which Southern's Caius Morrow recovered it, Pyatt scored for the second time in a 67-second span. This time, he bull rushed his way in from the 4. We played pretty well on defense and got great field position on back-to-back possessions which allowed me to punch it in both times within roughly a minute, Pyatt said. We need to clean up some penalties though when we go into some of those bigger games. In the first half, the two rivals combined for 21 penalties. It kind of went both ways in the first half, Mount Carmel coach John Dara said. We were penalized too much and so were they, and they had some really big plays called back on them. On the final play of the first quarter, Braden Andrews returned a punt 51 yards to the house. The Red Tornadoes scored all 9 of the points in the second quarter. Josh Miller connected on a 32-yard field goal and then Marshallek found Jalen Delaney in the flat where Delaney took it 42 yards for the touchdown to cut into the deficit at 21-16 after 2 quarters. After deferring to get the ball to start the game, Mount Carmel had the chance to take the lead in the third quarter, but Southern's defense answered the call. We struggled against them against the pass there in the first half, so we needed to do a better job in the secondary, Southern coach Jim Roth said. Other than one long run, we pretty much shut their running game down. The Tigers outscored the Tornadoes, 28-0, in the second half. Southern's defense didn't allow a third-quarter first down to their rivals and ran the ball effectively. Grady Garcia had an 8-yard touchdown after the Tigers forced a 3-and-out to start the third quarter, and Andrews scored on a run of 6 yards to make the score 35-16 heading into the fourth quarter. On the 2 scoring drives, the Tigers didn't even attempt a pass. The first was a 6-play drive and the second went 8 plays. We didn't do anything different really. We just executed much better in the second half. We emphasized to have a better focus and really took control at the line of scrimmage after halftime, Roth said. The defense rose up in the second half by not giving up a point. That unit has really played well for us in these 3 straight wins. In the fourth quarter, Jace Molokowski caught a 42-yard pass from Aiden Hockenbrock for a touchdown before Southern's starters were pulled. Gavin Brown then added a short touchdown to complete the dominant second-half effort. Other than one long run by Mount Carmel's Cooper Karicki, the Tigers shut down the Tornadoes' run game. This week on defense, we keyed in on continuing to do a good job with our run defense like we had done the last 2 weeks. You can't be individuals. If you play as a team, that is how you win, and that is what we are doing, said Southern defensive end Chase Williams, who had his 3rd blocked punt of the season in addition to 4 tackles for loss in the win. Mount Carmel, 1-3, will host Montoursville on Friday in what feels like a must-win at this point to stay in the playoff hunt. We have to figure out to close games in the second half. We do have a lot more guys going 2 ways, so that probably has something to do with it, Dara said. At times we played tough defensively in the first half, but in order to win these upcoming games we need to be better in the second half. The Tigers, 3-1, next 2 opponents have combined for just 1 win thus far. In Week 5, Southern travels to winless Central Columbia. When you beat a rival like Mount Carmel, you are definitely pleased. You know going in it is going to be a tough game always, Roth said. We still have stuff to work on though. I was happy with our second half response, and we need to keep up that intensity because we have a tough stretch coming up later in the season.